kind of an admission of guilt here. Now that I've got some spare time, it's nice. I have to say, it's really nice. But I need to sort through all my emails because I've been actually pretty overwhelmed, with getting the new stump grinding and tree business going and day job. I'm not going to go beyond that. And I've let a lot of things slip. There's only a certain amount of hours in a day, a certain amount of energy in an old battery. So I need to go through there and figure out who is expecting bows and what kind of bows. Need to re-up that. Kind of arrange it so I know what the heck I'm doing. One thing that I need to make a change in that's actually quite serious, could bump the cost of things a little bit, is I've been wrestling around with what I would consider not premium Osage orange. I've got the stuff on hand, and it's not, if I was to go to an Osage orange store and I was to see staves, and I saw what I had been working with, I wouldn't choose what I had to work with. So I'm going to start having to buy staves. So that, I don't know. Go to Ellie Enterprises. Hopefully Laverne is still in business. If you go to like the big primitive archery supply houses, it's expensive now. And I like working with premium staves. If I'm selling stuff. If it's me, sure, I'll wrestle around, I'll experiment, I'll see if I can get ginks out, and this, that, another thing, whatnot, and etc. But when you sell stuff, I don't want to have internal defects. I don't want to have to spend 50% more just trying to straighten the ginks out. In some ways, you take a piece of twisty, knotty, whatever, Osage. You work, heat bending, this and that and other thing. I'm totally convinced that every time you manipulate shape of wood, you're weakening it in some way. To some degree, maybe not a fatal degree, but to some degree. So yeah, don't need to beat a dead horse. Now I'm looking at this little mystery gull wing. I don't remember this. I might have made a video of it, I don't know. It looks like cherry. I'm looking at this handle, and this would be, it's a small diameter cherry, right? And bakers can't be choosers, so to speak. And you see, that is good wood, but it has like a weird little ginky handle. Center. Still use it. I'm sure the people that came long before us when they were making bows, horse bows, they weren't all beautiful gull wings. Some of them had doink in the handle. But again, nobody's claimed this bow. It's mine to experiment with. So I'm toying with the notion, balancing the fact that, don't want to just throw this on the ground, balancing the fact that it is a primitive bow, and a real one very well could have had that little gank there, probably did. But how much can I manipulate that to make it pretty? Smooth. And I'm thinking about using my tip squisher here. I designed this nutcracker, and it's good. You can get a relatively tight bend because it supports both sides. Crush. Seeing about, can I indeed take a gank and turn it into a rounded handle section? On one hand, it's like, I do not believe wasting wood. That's risking this thing. And as it stands now, even with a gank, it'll be a good sinew back bow. I don't know. Last bit. Okay. So sometimes in my journeys of grinding the stumpas is lilacs and cedars. And they don't have like, okay, coherent root system. You grind them, you can get rid of the roots, chase some big roots, going through the lawn. Cedars and lilacs have these root mats close to the surface and not big roots, right? And so you get this area, you clear the stumps, and then it doesn't look good because there's all these little roots sticking up in the air. And so I'll take my stump grinder and literally use it like a rototiller. I'll go, and I've got 2 wheels lock and the body sweeps, so I'll lock it. Sweep it back and forth, clear that area, move it back, sweep, sweep, then go next to it. Basically doing like mowing a lawn, right? But I don't want to use it like a rototiller because it's got carbide teeth, but it still dulls them. Just working dirt. What about a little Mantis rototiller, one of those little rugged 2-stroke things? I've never used a rototiller in my life, so I don't know the capabilities of them. If you're a gardener, and I'm not talking big roots, I'm just talking the multitude of fine roots that are just all over the surface, maybe going this deep. Would a little Mantis tiller go through, let's say, up to 1/4-inch roots, tearing apart those mats? So when you're done stump grinding, you smooth it down, you don't see all these little roots sticking up everywhere. Mantis tiller, yay or nay? Even sharpen the tines. Karate chop. And I think that's about it. Have a good one. Thank you for watching.